Hello, hello. Welcome to English Extras. My name is Jean. If you're here, it's because you don't want to sound like a textbook. You're in the right place. This podcast is to help intermediate and advanced learners find alternatives to textbook English so you can express yourself authentically. Before we begin, if you want the transcript for this episode, you can follow the link in the description. Reading and listening at the same time is a great way to improve your English. And I also include definitions of words and phrases I use in the episode, as well as example sentences at the end of each transcript. Ready? Let's begin. In episode 19, I shared 6 idioms to express anger or irritation. In episode 20, I shared 6 idioms to express happiness. In this episode, I'm going to share 4 ways to express sadness, 3 ways to ask someone how they are, and 4 things to say when someone tells you they are sad or that something sad happened. Let's start with 2 idioms to express your own sadness. Imagine that you didn't sleep well. You didn't wake up on time. You had to rush to work. You spilled your coffee before you had a chance to even drink it. Everything that could go wrong is going wrong, and you're tired. Plus, your best friend is moving to a different city, and because of a work project, you are going to miss your cousin's birthday. A coworker sees you in the afternoon and looks concerned. The coworker asks how you are. Well, you've had a bad day, so you can say, "I'm just down in the dumps today." The expression is to be down in the dumps. To be down in the dumps. This is what you can say when you're not feeling your best, but not like you're getting sick. Your mood is low. You're down in the dumps. We can also use another expression for this exact context. You can also say, "I'm feeling a bit blue today." The expression is to feel blue. To feel blue. Usually, the verb to feel is conjugated in the present continuous tense. I am feeling blue. But it is acceptable to also say, "I feel blue." You can also quantify it by adding words like a bit, or really, or so. So it would sound like, "I'm feeling a bit blue today," or "I'm feeling really blue today," or "I'm feeling so blue today." So those are 2 idioms to express sadness, to be down in the dumps and to feel blue. But what about expressions that aren't exactly idioms? Well, let's imagine another scenario. Let's say that you made plans with some of your friends to go to a concert. You're so excited for this concert and for hanging out with your friends. But then, for whatever reason, the plans get canceled. You're so disappointed. You're so bummed. The expression is to be bummed. You might also hear to be bummed out. They have the same meaning and are used for the same contexts. It's just personal preference which one you use. To be bummed is used when you are disappointed. Your plans get canceled, you lost an opportunity at work, you received some bad news. All of these can make you feel bummed. For example, they canceled my new favorite TV show. Ugh, now I'm so bummed. Or, did you hear about that great Mexican food place around the corner? It closed. I'm so bummed about it. Bummed is a great choice for expressing your disappointment. For our last expression for sadness or disappointment, let's imagine something bad happened. Someone you love died. You broke up with someone. You were rejected in some way, or maybe you received some critical feedback. If your reaction is really strong, we can say you are taking it hard. The expression is to take something hard. I can give you another example for this. My cat is 16 years old. She is an old girl. I know she isn't going to live forever, even though I joke that she's going to live longer than me out of spite. I adopted her when I was 14 years old. I'm 30 now, which means I've had her for more than half of my life. When she dies, I know I'm going to take it really hard. Okay, so putting that horrible image aside for the moment, let's talk about what you can ask if you see someone who looks sad or upset. I'm going to share 3 different ways. The first is, are you okay? Are you okay? Or, are you all right? Are you all right? Now, I want to make a note about the use of the word all right and how it is different in British and American English. In the US, when you ask someone, are you all right? It means that the person thinks something is wrong. In the UK, saying all right to someone is a greeting. I cannot tell you how weird it was for me when I went to the UK to study for 6 months. I never did get used to it. Every time someone said, all right, to me, I would be very surprised and say something like, yes, I'm all right. Nothing's wrong. So just keep that difference in mind. In the US, if you see someone sad or upset, you can ask, are you okay? Or are you all right? You could also say, what's wrong? This is not a yes or no question. So the question assumes that there is, in fact, something wrong. You could also say, what's the matter? What's the matter? Just like the previous one, it is not a yes or no question. The question also assumes that there is definitely something the matter. The person asking the question wants to know why you are upset. So there's 3 ways. Are you all right? What's wrong? And what's the matter? Now, what do you say when the person tells you what exactly is wrong or what is the matter? There are several options for how to respond. And of course, it comes down to personal preference. The first is, I'm so sorry to hear that. I'm so sorry to hear that. If someone's pet just died, you can say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Quick note, saying I'm sorry is a very normal way to respond when someone shares bad news. It might sound weird because I'm sorry is often used as an apology. And why should you apologize for someone's bad news if you didn't cause it? However, in contexts like this, it isn't apologizing for causing anything. It's acknowledging that something bad happened and you feel bad for that person. If you'd rather not say, I'm sorry, that's fine. You could say, oh my gosh, that's awful. Or that's terrible. More informally, but with the same meaning, you could say, oh, that sucks. Some older people might not like this word. I never understood why, to be honest, but for someone younger than 40, it should be perfectly fine to say this. For bad news that doesn't include death, you can say, what a bummer. What a bummer. Or that's a bummer. That's a bummer. I say that doesn't include death because if someone tells you that someone died, replying with what a bummer is probably going to sound a bit bad. However, there are two variants of this phrase that you can definitely use if someone tells you that someone died. You can say, what a shame. What a shame. Or, what a pity. What a pity. It's similar to saying, that's too bad. Two things to keep in mind. One, you can combine these responses. For example, you can say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to hear that. What a shame. Two, tone matters. If you really do feel bad, or if you want the other person to believe that you feel bad, a sincere tone is required. If you sound sarcastic, that completely changes the delivery of the phrase. Listen to the difference. What a pity versus what a pity. So keep that in mind. There we have it. Ways to express your sadness or disappointment, ways to ask someone how they are, and ways to respond when someone tells you about their bad news. Thank you, as always, for listening, and don't forget to check out the transcript for this episode for extra information. Until next time, bye.